Dragon Ball, one of the most influential and best-selling Japanese comics, has died at the age of 60.
Every artist wishes they could one day make something as impactful as Dragon Ball.
Y'all gonna have to give me time with this one.
Akira Toriyama has sadly passed away.
I can't find the words. R.I.P. to the legend. I wish the best for his family.
The world sucks.
Y'all gonna have to give me time with this one. I can't find the words. I think I found the words. On March 7th, 2024, I was sitting on my bed scrolling through Twitter like the addict I am when the news broke. Like many others, I didn't believe it. Then the official letter was released. This is real. Akira Toriyama had passed away. Let's start from the beginning. I used to come home after school and wait for my favorite block of television where I discovered...
Stand by for Dragon Ball Z. Coming next.
You know the rest. Falling down the Dragon Ball rabbit hole is probably one of the easiest things you can do because there are several ways to experience Akira Toriyama's story. And as a mega fan myself, I have damn near consumed all of them. But that's the thing. Let's talk about the story. Not the transformations, not how great the paneling of the manga is, not how awesome the fights are, but the actual tale of Son Goku. For some reason, there is this idea online that Dragon Ball as a franchise is held up by nostalgia and everyone just wants to see the next Super Saiyan Brawl. And I won't deny that those two things play a major role in Dragon Ball's success. But I think the main factor that has led to Dragon Ball being what it is today is... Wait a minute. Is this a hot take? I'm pretty sure it's a hot take. Sounds like a hot take to me. I see some steam coming off of you. Whatever. The main factor that has led to Dragon Ball's success is pretty simple. The story. There are several videos breaking down fight scenes, transformations, animation, manga paneling, the whole 9 yards, and they're all great. You should watch them. I feel like this has led to an outsider and even sometimes insider view that Dragon Ball's story is not worth much. That the series is held up by flashy fights and Toonami-era nostalgia, and that's all we fans really appreciate. TLDR. That's wrong. So wrong. Dragon Ball is a well-crafted story, done right, because it can be simple 1 minute and then quite complex if you take the time to look at it. What? Dragon Ball? Complex? You don't believe me? Keep watching. That's what I'm here for. And just to be clear, I'm talking about Akira Toriyama's original manga and its anime adaptation. So Super, GT, and the currently airing Daima are going to be left out for now. So just like I did in my main Abyss video, where I stated that anime is so much more than its incredible soundtrack, I am back once again to let you guys know something about my favorite anime of all time. I promise you, Dragon Ball is more than just action. Here it is. Now, I could go on for days breaking down every single plot point of the Dragon Ball story, but that would go on for hours, and I don't think I have an hour-long video in me. I don't know. Do you guys want to see one? So instead, I'll prove my point with 3 parts of the story that go beyond the action and show the complexities of Toriyama's magnum opus. But I won't be doing this alone. No, I have gathered the rest of the On The Rise team so you guys can see I'm not alone in this take. I'm being validated. Full interviews on the Patreon, by the way. But what better place to start than the beginning? There is an importance to reading or watching the OG Dragon Ball that is essential in understanding the core themes of the series and how they came to be. Dragon Ball started out as a story about a talented young martial artist and his friends exploring this fantastical realm in search of wish-granting orbs, and what started out as a Goku W streak time and time again, ensuring the audience that no matter the gag, no matter the foe, Goku would always find a way to win. And this sentiment is still alive today in the "Can they beat Goku" crowd? And the answer to that question is yes. Because in the OG series, when it came to fighting the top of his verse, Goku would lose again and again. What started out as a showcase of talent quickly turned into a journey of self-reflection and growth. It's not to say that Goku always took L's, RIP the Red Ribbon Army, but I am saying the fights that he did lose were way more significant than the ones he tended to win easily.
The very first tournament arc, our main character is defeated. All that training, all those matches, all those new techniques, just for Goku to quite literally come up one leg short. As Master Roshi instilled within his pupil the greatest lesson that would define Goku's character moving forward.
Don't get too comfortable. There was always someone stronger, and never stop striving for greater heights. A rhetoric that would quite literally carry Son Goku to the height of the gods.
This is the birth of Goku's strive for power, the aspiration of his character that fans around the world love him for. The birth of the "hey, it's me, Goku, I heard you were strong" meme, and why everyone pairs him up against the next strong anime character, and why the Goku of today, as we know, would never turn down a challenge.
This is the birth of the core main character of the entire franchise that you would never know where it came from if you skipped the OG Dragon Ball. Hint, hint. It was this simple story that made Goku, Goku. And it was only after he lost the Roshi, Tien, King Piccolo, coming back to barely win their second match, years of training with Kami, that Goku managed to once again barely get his first and only canon solo tournament win.
My big thing about Dragon Ball in the long run was the fact that at the end of the day, Goku is a bastion for more than just combat. So when he won the world tournament, I knew that this was just going to kind of be like a notch on his belt. This wasn't the end goal, at least in the grand scheme of things. We now know that this man is basically a demigod. So all of a sudden, the world tournament hits kind of just like a stepping stone. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And the journey to cementing your legacy begins with your first victory. So now that we're here at the very end with Dragon Ball Super, it makes that first victory in Dragon Ball even more potent.
Whether you realize it or not, it's moments like these within Dragon Ball's story that keeps you invested. No, there's no puzzle piecing plot like a One Piece or an Attack on Titan, but a simple tale that is easy to follow and wildly entertaining because it explores its world and characters just as well.
Setting the stage for the themes of the series that no matter how much you struggle, keep on fighting.
And speaking of characters in Dragon Ball who struggled.
What did you think, huh? That I was gonna roll over and die from an attack like that? I am a warrior, the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta!
I say this as the biggest Goku fan. Vegeta is without a doubt the best written character in all of Dragon Ball. The prideful prince's journey from villain to anti-hero is one for the history books, as it went on to inspire generations and generations of shonen rivals.
Vegeta has a lot of iconic moments in the series. It's over 8 or 9,000. His sacrifice in the Buu arc, do androids experience fear, etc., etc. But my favorite and the best character shining moment for Vegeta is when he states his character himself.
Spend your life ruled by another. Watch your race dwindle to a handful and tell me what has more meaning than your own strength.
One of the best speeches in the series, like, especially if you're like a minority and stuff like that. It's just like spend most of your life ruled by another, watch your race dwindle to a handful. Even though we didn't live through that, it's still just like the overreaching effects of that are still shown today. It's still just like, yeah, you do feel that people are literally in slavery, disenfranchised and stuff like that, watching their people die, like drop in front of them from exhaustion. It was such a profound statement. I could repeat the whole thing, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Vegeta gone from kind of like a warmonger to a father, family figure, learning that there's more to life than just, I guess, your overall purpose, and likewise having a purpose.
Vegeta is a terrible person. He's the prince of a genocidal race of space pirates. He's killed more people than he can count and enjoyed it, and his ego has gotten our favorite characters into one too many tough situations. But if you ask me, at his core, he's scared. He was raised to be the strongest, to stand at the top of the fighting world, and yet he's been humbled time and time again. Vegeta is terrified that the destiny promised to him since birth is false. Because if it is, what else does he have left? His race is near extinct, his enemy killed by another. If he can't be the strongest in the universe, then what?
My mind still goes back to this speech constantly because it explains why Vegeta is so power hungry. his core relationship with Goku, and what he's lacking in all in about 2 sentences.
Using the audience's prior knowledge of past events to set the stage for Goku vs. Vegeta Round 2, and even though the universe is quite literally at risk if they do, we understand why they fight each other regardless.
All because of that one speech. That's simple storytelling, done right.
And this is the start of us finding out that it's not really Vegeta's pride that's his problem, but the way he goes about expressing it. That maybe other things do matter to him more than his own strength. And even though he's not the strongest, he still has something to live for. Something else to take pride in. And the best part about his character is that he does just that. And he never gives up on himself.
But if we're talking about caring for those around them, there is one character that fits that spot better than Goku and Vegeta ever will.
You know this moment. This is the most iconic moment in Dragon Ball history. Gohan's ascension to Super Saiyan 2, the explosive climax, the plot point that has been built up since his first introduction. The true power of the son of Goku, the rage of the kindest warrior.
And this is not the moment I want to discuss. Well, not entirely.
No, the Dragon Ball moment I want to look at is what happens right before this. The crowning jewel that makes this moment so impactful to me. Android 16's speech.
Again, we confront a speech that encapsulates a character so perfectly, showing why so many love Gohan.
That was probably some of, I'll say, a lot of people's favorite moment. Like, just seeing Gohan go from, Daddy, I can't do it, to, I'm gonna wreck this motherfucker. That's really what you love to see, like a character transition into like what you would think to be like more passive, tranquil. Me personally, like my buddies call me a meathead for it, but I love action. I need somebody to get hit. Just to see that, and like coming from Gohan and like seeing the power that he used when he was a child versus what he's doing now, and seeing the transformation just in general, it was amazing.
At the end of the day, Gohan is still a very gentle character, so he was never going to reach this point himself. And then 16 steps in. The gentle giant who we've been watching on the sidelines this entire time, realizing the beauty in this world and choosing to take value in that over the mission his father programmed into him. The only other pacifist on the battlefield that can relate to Gohan. It is not a sin to fight for the right cause. There are those who words alone will not reach. You are gentle. You do not like to hurt. I know this because I too have learned these feelings. But it's because you cherish life that you must protect it. Just let it go. Gohan and 16 are both burdened by their father's past mistakes. Neither loves to fight, and both are the strongest Saiyan and Android respectively. Again, Akira Toriyama delivers a complex message with the simplest of presentations that, to be honest,
this is gonna sound out of left field, is a little anti-Vinland Saga.
That sometimes you do have enemies, that sometimes violence may be your only answer to protect what matters most, albeit with restrictions as Gohan finds out later. Then, and only then, with that knowledge and sense of maturity, is Gohan able to reach a new level. 16's speech is the message of this moment laid out for us, and Toriyama's writing at its best.
This was the start right here. My uncle gave me this when I was about 5 years old, and I fell in love with all 4 episodes. And when I discovered that it was on TV, the rest was history. I was an anime fan. I still have this tape.
Toriyama was the first author, creator that I actually knew the name of. Like, I generally don't kind of keep up with the names or the people behind the scenes. It's just the actual work. He was the first person who was just like a household name as far as anime is concerned. He's touched literally all anime watchers, even the newer ones that came on from Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, etc., etc. So thanks, Akira.
When I was a kid and everything, like, anime wasn't really the biggest thing. Like, I more so had kind of to hide it from everybody. Like, he made me feel like I can be like myself, like, especially when I was alone. Like, I can actually just kind of just like an easy way to escape and just feel like calm.
I feel like every single person who had been touched impacted or even knew the name Akira Toriyama in this generation should be honored. Toriyama passed, the entire world stopped. Not the comic book world, the whole world stopped. There's Batman, there's Superman, and there's Goku. And Goku's creator is no longer with us. I feel like we should all be honored to say, yeah, I was around when Akira Toriyama was doing his thing.
I've seen a bunch of anime, some underrated ones that really are the best the medium has to offer.
That you haven't seen these.
Yet, when talking about my favorite, it always comes back to Dragon Ball.
The story of a young pacifist learning to pick his battles. The story of a prideful warrior learning to take pride in non-violent things. The story of a boy trying to be the best he can be.
This story means something to me. Dragon Ball at its core is all about striving to be better than what you were yesterday. That no matter what stands in your way, whether it be the world, a strong foe, or your own limitations, to break through all of that and never stop growing. It's what makes this story endless and what makes Toriyama's legacy timeless. Thank you, Akira Toriyama. Thank you. So as you watch Daima, as you play Sparking Zero, remember that this is not the end for Dragon Ball, and it probably never will be. Because even if they stop releasing episodes, movies, or games, this franchise will always be here, touching the hearts of fans around the world. And honestly, it's quite incredible how this one show has impacted the lives of several people. Action alone can't have this level of impact. It is indeed the journey mixed with the action that makes this franchise what it is. In the end, if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Dragon Ball is more than just action. It's proof that art can change the world.
Oh, you're still here. Oh, right. These things don't end until I say my catchphrase, right? Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my friends, I'm RJ Lane, and this has been On the Rise. Okay, you gotta click on another video on the screen. It's just awkward now. You have to click on one. Come on, just click on one.